Afternoon. Someone's asked me a quick question on what I do when it comes to water, checking the pH level and looking after these tomatoes and what I've been doing. And the answer is absolutely nothing at all. The only thing I do is I'll come up and tap the tomatoes. Tomatoes coming there, you can see the tomatoes coming. They're all forming. I've got known what happens. The flowers are fine. Just come along and tap the flowers so far. And there's no problem whatsoever. Regular tomatoes coming. You see the tomatoes coming. A lot more flowers coming up there. So it's going to be loads of tomatoes on here already. Lovely and healthy. Same here, lots of tomatoes coming. As it grows, there's lots more coming. And yeah, tomatoes coming. So I don't do anything to them. Like I say, with hydroponics, what I don't like is all the fancy. I know they have the net cups and then they have the pipes and all this sort of thing. And every time I look at it, I always think to myself, you have all these long roots, but the problem is, to me, you've just got the primary roots, so you've just got the roots at the bottom grain of the plant. What about all the other roots, the secondary roots and all this, what's to spread out? And the more roots you've got, obviously, the stronger the plant, the quicker you can get nutrition up, moisture up, and everything else. You'll also get more tomatoes, in my opinion, when it comes to tomato plants. If you can imagine, you just got the bottom roots coming out the bottom of your plant and dangling all the way down. You have that little bit for oxygen, and then it goes into your plant food, and that's it. You've still only got a certain amount of roots coming down there. If they come out like, I've seen them coming out really long, brilliant. But you're limited to the amount of roots. I like to bury the whole stem as well, so you get a huge amount of roots. But, so that's why I decided to experiment with these telescopic pots. So with the cocoa and perlite, and I've had no trouble whatsoever. The plants are growing great. They're really healthy. Got a great root system, and the roots are going to carry on growing from the stem. I've got no primary roots because I use suckers. If you go back to my video, you'll see at the start I've used suckers purposely because I wanted to not use primary roots, which would be ideal normally. The idea of these telescopic pots would be you plant your seed in the bottom. As it grows, you're taking the leaves off and the flowers off, and then you lift another section, top up your cocoa perlite or your compost, whatever you want to do, and then so on. But anyway, this is the result. We've got two really healthy plants, what I've been setting in here under the Mars 600 TS 600 grow light, which is left on for 12 hours and off for 12 hours, no more than that. It's also about 2 foot away from my plants. I know people have it closer, but if you do that, you can probably damage the leaves a little bit, take the colour off the leaves. You want the nice bright green leaves and healthy leaves. You don't need to have them that close, you don't need to have them on for longer than that. I know people have them 16 hours and all that, but no, I don't. Your tomatoes will grow when the light's off. You'll see a big difference. So leave the light on for 12 hours, let them build up their energy, and then turn it off for 12 hours. Look around the next day and you'll see a big difference. What else have I got to tell you? The water. Now the water, the pH level in the water, I don't check the pH level in the water, and the reason is I use rainwater. I don't use any other water but rainwater. So and the pH level of rainwater is fine. So and that's all I do. So this container here, it's got rainwater in, and 5 ml of this easy to grow plant food per 1 litre jug. So and that's it. That's got to go right in there. So, and obviously I did speak about just the tray there and that auto pot thing, but whether you need the auto pot, I mean, you can fill the tray up yourself just below your bottom, just above the bottom of the bottom lip of the plant pot, and leave it like that, and just put a little bit of rainwater in with your plant food, and just keep that topped up. Cover it up. If it's under grow lights, it'll last a while. Just keep topping it up. And yeah, there we have it. So none of this hydroponics pumps and air pumps and all this sort of thing. You want air pumps, so you use all that and the cost of air pumps and all the equipment for hydroponics, because you've only got that certain root system. You've got so many roots, a few roots compared to what you could have, and they dangle down, and you're limited then, because you might be long, but you still only got so many. Whereas if you've got something like mine, I've got these telescopic pots, you've got the bottom roots, plus you've got the secondary roots coming from the stem. So instead of having this big long, you've got a huge amount of roots, and they continue to grow, and your plant gets stronger. Also, as it grows, tell us little bit by bit, it grows quicker, because if you've got a small plant and you've got it in the bottom, and as it's hitting the light straight away, it's growing quickly. You're lifting the next section up, topping up with compost. It's continually growing roots all the time. Whereas if you plant your, say, a tomato plant, or it could be a cucumber plant, and you leave it, just plant it normally in a compost, them roots will come down, but that's it. You don't get them secondary roots unless you bury that stem. And the same with the cucumbers. So what I do is, as you've seen before in my previous videos, I'm forever growing it, as it grows, your plant grows, lifting a section up, topping up with compost, and your roots are growing all the time. So you'd have your primary and secondary roots going all the time, and a much better root system, much healthier plant. Your tomato plants could, once it could actually go out when it was a bit cooler, because you've got such a good root system. And yeah, I mean, I can't show you how many tomatoes are coming on, but you can see the tomatoes coming on there. The other side, there's a huge amount of flowers coming the other side, and that's a regular tomato plant, as you can see, and it's really strong, really healthy plant. Same with here. Now, I've pulled any suckers off here, and the reason I've pulled the suckers off, because it's in a grow tent. I'm just wanting to show it growing in the grow tent, and just see how it gets on these telescopic pots. This is only a tiny telescopic pot, but it's grown the same way. Little cherry tomato plant. As it's grown up, lift the section up, top it up, and so on. So I've gained me a good root system, and it's continued to grow. As you can see, the tomatoes are coming there, plenty coming there, plenty of flowers, and it's not it's only a little, not very tall at all. That's it. But it will get. Well, I'll show you later when it gets packed full of tomatoes, and it's got plenty of room to grow and get stronger. And that's it. It takes no looking after, because it's like I say, it's just got the rainwater in there, and I've got no trouble at all with these. The only thing you've got to look at to do is turn your lights on and off. This Mars TS600 is a LED light, which is low power, and that's it. I've done nothing else. I've got no pumps going, nothing else. Obviously I've got my fans going, a couple of fans going, two 4-inch fans, but them are low power ones apparently anyway. So yeah, and that's about it. So that's my opinion on hydroponics and the cost of them. I don't think you need it. I think if you had a greenhouse or a bit large area, I don't know if I'll ever get these telescopic pots made and sold in any way. But the cost of them I've worked out to be about £3 in English money. So what's that? $4.50, I suppose, in American money, something like that. So for a big pot like that, it'd be well worth it to get a lot more tomatoes and a lot healthier plant, and easy to look after. You could line them all up, and if you've got some sort of reservoir, just to drop little reservoir of some sort. And then you could put your plants in some sort of trays, and there you are. There'd be no need for all these pumps and all this sort of thing. And I could promise you get a lot more tomatoes and cucumbers. And also these telescopic pots, they're designed for potatoes as well. So you can just put your potato in the bottom, cover it up, and then it'll grow very quickly because the light's hitting it all the time, where it wouldn't do if it was sitting in the bottom of a bag. and as it's growing up like that, you just leave another section, just top your compost up, make it nice and easy. Same again. Or you could do it with cocoa and perlite if you want. Lift it up again, and as your potatoes are growing, all this foliage, it's easy to top up because you're just lifting the sides of this telescopic pot up and top it up. It's always, you'll get more potatoes. I know it's in theory, but I've done it for years and it works. And then when your potatoes leaves start dying off and it's ready to harvest, you just lower one section at a time, search for your potatoes and take them out and leave them the rest in the soil until you're ready to get some more, and then lower another section. Okay, I hope people like my video. I don't really get anybody commenting on any of them, but it'd be nice to hear some comments and your thoughts on these telescopic pots, and also how I'm growing it. Improved, defined, healthy plants, plenty of flowers. Tomatoes are all forming. I've had no trouble with none of them. No leaf drop, no tomatoes, flowers falling off. Everything's happy. Good to go. Okay then. Hope you like my video. If you do, like and subscribe, I think you're supposed to say. Alright then, thank you, bye bye.